Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we're jumping back into our game with Late Age Rlyeh. Well, I finished this turn, and it hasn't rolled yet. We got a few hours till it rolls. I want to review it with you all. So here is what we got coming up. First of all, some trading. We had some pearls and air gems coming from Tis. I gave him death gems for this, and I gave him this wasn't a 1-to-1 with pearls to death gems. I think it was, I don't know, 1.2 or 1.3 or something to 1. And Voice of Tiamat, we found a Copper Cliff, which is a very nice site. Super duper good. We'll have to fort this. And then, what else did we find? We cast Voice of Tiamat again, didn't find anything. Record of Creation, didn't find anything. We'll go through our Shamblers in a second. So Shamblers, we killed an Imperial Geomancer. I wonder if I'm getting any of these with pearls on them. I can't remember. He's been putting a ton of gear on these guys. I think instead of researching, he's been forging stuff. Like, look how many mage turns are on this guy. Anyway, he dies. Doesn't help you. I get a Jade Sorceress here. Look at all the gear on this lady. He must just be so depressed. He put... I like this player, too. I haven't played with him much, but he's always been very friendly. I mean, we couldn't come to a peace agreement, even though I tried, but... yeah. Look how much he cares about this Jade Sorceress. Look at the care levels invested. All right? There's a lot of caring. Moss Body. Right. Desiccation. This guy's getting a little fatigued. Yeah, she cared a lot, or he cared a lot for her, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Now we cast the Dimensional Instability, and we're going to come back to this in a second. Ritual of Returning, another Imperial Geomancer. Let's see what was here on this dude. Did this one have love and care? No, but this was a magic dueler. So there's a pearl. This could be... I basically saved the life of half of one of my mages with this cast. Because it's really going to be hard to keep him from halfway killing one of my mages. Anyway, he's gone. Now, I tried to teleport onto Jotunheim. I had a guy, he had a bunch of gems. Basically, it was going to allow me to do all the things I wanted to do on top of Jotunheim with extreme security. Now, if Jotunheim was gem baiting me, he would be putting me in a really tough situation, because I have some temporary gem items, but I don't have enough. And it would make me get really frugal. Fortunately, Jotunheim hasn't, so I don't really need this. This was more like a luxury thing. Another Imperial Geomancer. Another Magic Dueler. An Imperial Alchemist. Now, this is, I think, a cap-only dude, so you can better believe he is going to put TLC gear on this dude. And so, yeah, this guy's got one of these, which is a 4-gem item. If you have a hammer, it's 2. It's a really cool TNT item. An ice helmet, and a lodestone amulet. We get attacked. This is in the void. Sadly, we're not getting sent home yet, because this guy does have returning. We're exchanging Mind Blasts. You see, just yoinks the shit out of him. So that's annoying. A lesser otherness, same thing. We killed these dudes. Don't get sent home. Feels bad. Okay, magic sites, I don't think we found anything. A lot of this is just insanity, right? Like, all these guys are insane searching. Oh, God. We actually managed to name one of our prophets, because I have to find the exact one. If I find a guy who's becoming a prophet, it's not sufficient. I have to find enough of them that my odds of getting one of them is right. So Prophet of Bubbles, number 46. Ready to go and serve our Lord and Savior Bubbles. we got attacked here by Float Cat Hars. This is going to be probably just from... How did... Oh, this is from us summoning Void Lords where people get horror marked. So just paying the tax. And then get out your popcorn, boys. This is going to be probably the cooler battle of the turn. We have the last stand of Krieg. On Krieg's side, we have a boatload of blood slaves, all shamelessly ripped from Heroes of Might and Magic, followed by a fair number of mages. These are like succubi. This might be his god, actually, the Lady of Whips. Interestingly, does not give her any whips. Shame. And then he's got a bunch of these dudes, some Sultan who have copper plates. I'm not sure about those versus Gartha. He's got this dude, a Houndmaster. He's got this dude, the Succubus. They come with a whip. I don't really know how all this works. But a big long line of Succubi. We'll see what they're casting. He's got some troops, but Krieg's troops have been largely depleted. On Agartha's side, we have a big long line of what are soon to be quickened, higher resistant sentinels. And yeah, they're pretty goddamn scary. And these guys have been summoning a pretty big number of meteors. Let's see who's doing it. Skill of Heroes, Flaming Meteor. So she's doing it. She's got... That's kind of cool. Maximum size 2. Penetration 1. Eventually we'll become an aboleth. Those are pretty darn cool. I wonder who that would be good on that I have. I mean, I guess my slave mages could be kind of good on. Fast casting 15. Yeah. I'll have to see what kind of aboleth it turns you into. But... And that will be easy to figure out in the mod file. The armies of Krieg march forth. Meteors raining down from the sky. Oops. There's cultists that are coming in from the side of the battle. But basically, these guys are blowing up on contact. Now, when they die, they have death explosions. These guys have a lot of fire resistance and a lot of protection, so it doesn't really do anything. The fire resistance really does hurt Krieg. Because these would be very painful to kill. But they don't do a ton of damage otherwise. Look at their stats. They're not great. I mean, Flaming Fist is not bad. I don't know. This is pretty good still. 19 damage. It's not going to get through. I mean, it's still going to be chip damage versus 22 protection. But at least it's blunt damage, which these guys don't have a resistance to. Crossbows coming in from the side of the battle. And again, the crossbows kind of do chip damage versus a lot of these guys I'll be able to hit, because I only have 19 protection. But these dudes are really, it's going to be chip damage. And with quickness, they don't spend forever trucking across the field. They really do haul ass. Quickness is really good on Gartha. I kind of like this build. It's not looking good for Krieg. These guys are back here just murdering mages. Some attrition here from the Shard Guard. And these guys have run out of ammo, so I think they're running in close. Start poking things with their daggers. Of course, they have 2 daggers. But Gartha really is just... I'm so glad we have a Gartha in the game to kill these guys. I mean, I like the player playing Krieg a lot. But oh my god, would it be painful to kill with another nation. I mean, it's like the perfect counter to Krieg. Fire resistance on your sacreds, and they're got huge amounts of protection, so they're immune to they're resistant to the crossbows and all that other stuff. And they're hard to thug against, too, with quickness. I mean, this is hard to run a thug into, quickened sentinels. And I don't mind having these guys as neighbors now. They're hard to kill, but if they ever want to fight me, I can steal all their shit. They're mindless. And that's it. Krieg is routed. Now, apparently, in other news, Garth's god died this turn. Now, it died after this combat. What that means is that for this combat, they all had to bless. But afterwards, they won't. So, Krieg might have a tiny, tiny chance still. That being said, this was an absolute horrific massacre. But props to Krieg for really going down swinging. He's had so many what feels like last stands. But I think this might be the last stand. But he may have one more left in him just because the Garth's god died. So he may be able to figure out some kind of reversal. I don't think so. I think Krieg's capital, it's cracked. I think it's going to be stormed this turn, though we'll see. Let's see what else. So it was a battle for Krieg. We had a few battles here where we're just doing light raiding. And I think we were successful on all fronts. I think I meant to sneak this guy in, but I guess he went insane or something. And here we've got our battle versus Ulm. And this actually didn't go as well as I thought it would. Part of it was because I didn't have a nature mage to bring. But the other part is because they brought... It's interesting that these targeted these guys. The other thing is, there were a lot more ghoul guardians than I kind of thought there would be, and there's a fair amount of black priests here too. So, and black priests are going to be able to do Iron Blizzard, which is pretty killy. Some of our guys got decayed. I'm not quite sure how that happened. I guess... How did they get decayed? Let's watch this again. Sorry. I do want to see this. Okay, Hammer the Arcane. That might be it. I think that's it. Now, we're actually kind of okay against this. Now, because we've got high HP, we've got a huge maximum age. So decay is not really great against us. Okay, there went Enter the Void. Or we're about to cast... Oh, no, it went off. There went Curse of Stones, which... we're not really that resistant to. We'll have some of these guys succumb to it. I think there's a little icon that will pop up if they fail the check. Oh no, he prepares to cast it. What was that? Chant of the Iron Cult? Oh, that was the interruption thing. And you can see the Iron Blizzard's actually doing a fair amount of damage. Part of this, I don't have any protection buffs, and it does AP damage, I think. But if I got mass protection off and mass regen, I I think it would be a lot better. And of course it does a lot more damage to magic beings. Now these guys also have magic weapons, so into the... I actually don't have a lot of the buffs I need. Wither Bones. Drop some... They're probably about to rout now because they just got wrecked. Now I sent all a message last turn that said basically, I'll let you have all this stuff, but you have to be a friend. I'm not gonna let you be all nasty and unfriendly and expect you, you can't do that and expect me to just sit here while you take a fort with a bunch of garbage. Like a capital, nonetheless. Anyway, he's basically dead now. And come here and yoink all those communion slaves. So in net, we lost 5 formless spawn, which are pretty nice. They're pretty valuable. We lost 60 meteorite guard, which are 65. If we do the math on that, that's... We're going to total up the cost here. It's, let's see, 65 times 13. That's 850 bucks about. And that is about... Oh, we lost 4 illithids, which I actually don't mind getting these off the payroll, to be completely honest. So I'm hesitant to even count them. That's another 200. So that puts us at about 1,000. If we say these guys are worth like 50 bucks, which I would say would be an underestimate a little bit of their value, but we'll do that. Puts us at around 1,200 gold lost, 1,250. On Ulm's side, he lost 4 Black Priests, which is 4 times 160. So that's 640 bucks already. He lost 2 Cynocephalian Shamans, so that's going to be plus 270 about. And then he lost 10 Black Templar, which is going to be plus 3 or plus 650. And then he lost the Displacer Beasts, which honestly, these guys cost 3 pearls a piece, and he lost 10 of them, or no, 7 of them, which the pearls are kind of worth about like 60 gold. We won't factor them in, but just know this is probably like 21 times 6. There's probably at least another 1,000 gold worth of Displacer Beasts. Just because pearls are so goddamn valuable. And if you factor that in, I spent more on spells than he might have. But the Ghoul Guardians are a big loss here, because they're hard to kind of mass. And he lost, what, 43 times 20, so that's another 800, we'll call it. And that puts us at 2,300, and then the Thralls and the Wolves are free, and the Zweihanders are 14 apiece, and that's, so 14 times 14. So that's about, he lost about twice as much gold as we did. And then he probably lost a bit more in the retreat, because the retreat routes over here are not phenomenal. They are not phenomenal. You know, they retreated here or here. Now, he can come back in and fight. We'll talk about that when we get to kind of what's going on for this turn. We also had another battle here. This one didn't go great, because we lost the 2 greater othernesses, which I was a little disappointed about. But these guys, I had Body Ethereal on them, and I was thinking, okay, we'll be fine at Body Ethereal. Well, these guys have magic weapons, and they butchered me. Anyway. But we killed these mages. So, in that, it was probably worth it. These probably, I would say, are worth like 100 gold. So we probably lost, I don't know. Like, we'll call it 200 gold worth of stuff, but he lost this guy and this guy, so that's already 300 gold. And then 10 of these guys, that's another 200, so that's 400 gold. Anyway. He has not gotten back to me, and the turn's about to roll, so I expect he does not want peace, and instead he's going to be belligerent, which the more I think about it, the more conflict with... It's... With people so goddamn unfriendly, it's hard to not be in conflict with people. Like, I can't... I don't know. We'll talk about it, but We'll watch his battle first. I was trying to get rid of some of the undead and maybe gym bait this army. I was barely successful in either, since there weren't any gyms. But we put up Solar Brilliance to kill all the long dead. Probably blind some of these guys too. Yeah, let's see how many of these guys got blinded. Okay, blind. Okay, so that's 1 out of 1, 1 out of 2, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 6. Yeah, I think we actually blinded a lot of these guys. They got pretty fucked up. They got pretty fucked up. Okay, here we go. So that's 1 out of 1, 2 out of 2, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. Yeah, I mean, these guys got... These guys probably less. This guy, I think we've got about 2/3 of them blinded. I haven't actually thought about it. This actually is pretty decent. And they're expensive too. Like, and this guy's basically fucking worthless in combat now, aside from his aura. Anyway, he got hit and got sent home. So that was the conclusion of that. And then coming down, Tianchi pings me with the scout. We take more of Tianchi's stuff. We get to watch a battle here between Ulm and Rhaga, which is kind of cool. Ulm storming the fort. These are the nice Ulmites. These are the middle-aged Ulmites who are actually pretty cool. Got a Master Mason back here. They've got an Iron Angel, which is got a bajillion. I don't actually understand this. Why do they need so much? Because it's only got... Well, we'll see. I don't think they need that much. I mean, I guess with quickness, they would fatigue out faster, and they have reasonably high encumbrance. Well, it's going to be fatigue negative because of all the gear, so we can't really tell. I don't know. I mean, I will say, though, that... Well, maybe they reduced the cost. I have no idea what they cost, but in vanilla, these things are overpriced. They're not worth making. And then we see Asphodel putting the finishing touches on Rlyeh. I mean, not Rlyeh, on Rhaga. One thing that is shocking to me is how many of these Sagittarian carcasses he has. I don't know how it's possible. When I played Asphodel, you hardly get any of these as free spawn, and he's got 1 million of them. It's cool, I just don't know how he does it. And he has a Darkness Caster, so that means he can at least all 6. And he has Foul Vapors. It's a bad day for Rhaga. I think Rhaga's going get some guys that landed here in the back. They didn't really do anything. It's basically just a stomping. I think he lost a bit of chaff. Yeah. But didn't really lose any of his... Oh, he lost a few of his gods. Actually, let's watch that and see how it happens. It's a little bit of a zinger. These are... So he's got a Trinity god. I'm not actually sure how they die. Oh, wait, no. These aren't... Oh, Dominion power, but they're not Pretender gods. Oh, wait, no, they are Pretender gods. I guess they just don't have a bonus. I guess it's neutral Dominion? Oh, dude, they don't have fire resistance. They're getting cooked by the auras. Because they don't get blessed in friendly Dominion. That is actually really funny. They're fatigued out and getting cooked. All 3 of them. Whoops! Blue one's down, the green one lives. Though I will say, you know, kind of barely, and it's probably because he has regen. So that's a whoopsie daisy. But yeah, I mean, what was inside was slaughtered, and then a bunch of events. Let's get down to the part of the events that are not... We got a Bane Blade. I think I put that on some dude, actually. Got some Unrest. And then there was a worldwide event that caused Order and Dominion -1. So everybody's Dominion graph got punished. And here we lost some. PD, I might should go bump that back up. It's somewhere over here. I think it's fine. Oh yeah, so look at the Dominion for everybody. Voonk, voonk, voonk. Yeah, everybody's Dominion got a little bit of a beating. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on this turn in terms of what kind of action do we have? Well, we have cracked a bunch of forts. We've cracked this fort and Yomi, and we're going to storm. This is a pretty motley crew, if I must say so. Mass Protection and Fog Warriors, Mass Flight. I don't actually know how long it will take us to get through this script. We've got some reinvigoration gear on her. So her reinvigoration is 2. I thought this might have given some, it doesn't. Well, we can run through the math. This is going to knock her out. She's going to wake up and do Fog Warriors. And this will certainly put her at... I mean, it's going to damage her, too. How much will it damage her? Let's see what scales we're in. Okay, we're in Magic 3. So Magic 3, I think, will give a 30% discount to fatigue, which will put us right down at 200 fatigue, but we're going to be at 100 when we cast it. So it'll probably take like 3 HP damage. That's probably okay. Oh, well, we won't be that high, because I forgot, we're going to be Nature 3 when we storm. So, yeah, Mass Protection, Fog Warriors, they're not going to be able to really hurt my guys with that. They can maybe do Gifts of Heaven and stuff. Skeletal Legion, I think this should be able to cast. And then Soul Slay, Mass Regen will be coming out on this dude. I wonder if there's anything good I can do with water here, because I've got a bunch of water gems. Oh, it seems fine. You know, you could make the argument I do Mass Flight first, have my guys jump over the walls, and then I actually probably won't be asleep. I think we do that. I think we do Mass Flight first, and then we do Fog Warriors. And that way, we're going to get... There's less chance we get cheesed. Yeah, I like that. The problem here, she's going to be reliable. She's not dependent on a communion or anything like that. You know, a problem, though, is that... Well... He can magic duel my guys, and I don't have a bunch of Star Children here, so I'm a little vulnerable to it. I think there's probably only like 4 or 5 mages inside. But, you know, it's something that could happen. This fight I'm a little worried about, just because it's not a very strong army. We could get cheesed. We're not very prepared to deal with any of that. But the big fight we have is over here. The big fight is going to be in Jotunheim, and he's got this army, which will be reinforcing... Because this army, and I kind of wanted them to be successful in taking this, like I could have tried to hold this rather than just kind of weaken and gem bait the army. But what this likely means is he's going to ride out. And if he rides out, that means we'll have a battle outside the fort and then we storm the fort. Now, there's 2 options. If he rides out, he may just ride out with this force, which is strong enough to gem bait my army. And then when I go in, I'll have to fight the rest of them. The annoying thing about that is, well, the annoying thing about that is he might be able to successfully gem bait me. And I think I have enough gems. Like here I've got 8 gems, which should be enough to get cast Fog Warriors twice, and I'm on conservative gem use. Here we have enough gems to do Light of the Northern Star a couple times. Here we have enough gems to do Life After Death and Darkness. But only once, probably, yeah, only once. So, and like maybe I should, do we really need darkness? Probably not with all the other stuff we've got on. So like I could take this off maybe. And he's gonna have a lot of skeletons. But I do want to have life after death to protect my communion slaves. And then we've got Power of the Void. This I should be able... Well, this will be a little close, because Power of... This is 3 gems, and then this is 3, so it's 6. But I don't think... I think you actually need at least 1 gem extra to make it, because this is 5. Yeah. So I actually am not sure if this will go off. Which, if this doesn't go off on the inside storming, that could actually be a huge problem. So I think what we're going to do, actually, and I'm glad we're talking through this here, I'm going to make sure we give this guy a few more gems. Because he really, 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 really has to have enough to cast it a couple times. So I actually might try to find 1 more gem to give him. Let's give him 1 more. This would mean he could spend 3 extra on both casts, and he will still be able to get it off. So that's fine. This guy is going to be doing Communion Master, Power of the Void, Power of the Spheres. This will put Power of the Void on my Communion Slaves, which could mean we spawn a good number of horrors, but well, we're not afraid of that. What are you doing, buddy? Let's stand up here. It's nice and safe with you buddies. And then we'll drop Master and Slave. And he doesn't have a ton of pin. He just has 2, which isn't great. But he should be blessed, I think, by the time this comes out. So it'll be 3 pin with my Bless. That's not great, but it's not horrible. And it will probably mean we're going to win the fight. And we might get like a cap-only mage or something, which this would be useful pass. And it would be totally worth like a Gift of Reason. We've got this guy with the Claim of Pearls, so he'll be able to get off anti-magic, not worried about gem baiting. Here we've got a ton of gems on this guy. We've got 10 gems, and for them to get through this script, it's really only like 3 gems. So this guy's pretty fine. Serpent's Blessing, because Jotunheim could try to Foul Vapors us. Would be a reasonable thing to do in a last stand. We've got Summon Earth Power going onto the Communion. We've got this guy casting Quickening and then Quickness. This guy's doing Will of Fates, and actually, yeah, he's going to be able to get it off, I think, without using any extra gems, though I've given him a couple. And then this guy's going to be doing Relief and Mass Regen. And these actually have a bit higher. This only uses 1, but this will probably use like 2 or 3. And this one costs 2. But we should... I don't think this will use more than 5 or 6. I think we'll actually be able to get this script off twice. But, you know, looking at it, I might come back up here to this other guy and take, like, you know, a couple gems from him. And let's make sure he's on conservative gem use. This guy's on conservative gem use. And then we're doing Quickening. And I'll do Quickness. So, like that. And my God is also coming in. And Bubbles has 3 pin. He won't be getting our blessing, so it won't be 4. But he's going to be doing Power of the Spheres, Power of the Void, Soul Vortex, Master and Slave, Undead Mastery. And he will only be present for the outside fight, which will, you know, it could be fighting everything if he does a complete ride-out, or it could be just fighting these guys. And the Master and Slave, this will be the... If he does do the full ride-out, we're going to steal a lot of his shit, because I'm going to have 2 Master and Slaves going off. With some penetration, but not a ton. Because, by the way, guys, I don't think I mentioned it officially, but we finished Thom 9 this turn. So, next up is Evocation. We got 2 things in that researched already this turn. And this turn we should finish off Evocation 6 and start making progress on Alt 9. And we're only like 3 turns away from Alt 9. And that means we can start doing one of our craziest things we're going to plan to do, which is getting the first couple... Well, God, we have a lot to talk about. I'll show you the path, actually, to that. Because we're kind of done with this. And nothing else is happening on Blandos. We'll talk about this real quick, and I'm going to show you that test. I'll show you how we do it. We'll walk through the right sequence to make sure we've got everything planned. Where are we on? Fall of Sorrow. Ulm actually has a fair amount of stuff. I'm napped 4th Age Phalegra. Ulm has a lot of stuff they could come back and attack me with, and I'm kind of expecting them to. I really want to do Undead Mastery. I think what I actually probably should do with this, darkness isn't going to be super good because everything he has here basically can see in the dark. Except the priests. I think what's actually going to be better here is doing life after death. And that'll make the communion a bit stronger. But what I have coming in this time, we've got one guy doing Master and Slave, or Will of Fates followed by Master and Slave. And the thing is that Master and Slave is actually not very good here. Almost all this stuff is mindless. Corpse Constructs are mindless, Carrion Beasts are mindless. These guys aren't, but yeah, so that part's not great. But Will of Fates is going to be super good. It's going to mean it's going to be way harder to kill my guys. We're also going to have Mass Protection in conjunction with Mass Regen. So now they have to get a killing blow, which has to, it's going to be a 3/4 chance that doesn't happen. And if they don't do it, we're going to regen back up. And the amount of damage we are going to take from things like Iron Blizzard is going to be dramatically reduced. Now, one thing I want to cast, but I don't think I can. Where do we have this guy? Because I know I put... Can this guy do Arrowfend? I think you have to be one higher. No, he can totally do it. Okay, this guy's going to come and do Arrowfend. How did I not think of this until now? All right, let's send this guy. This is a little trick, by the way. If I click this guy, look how long it takes for him to get selected. It's like 10 seconds. But if we do it this way, and I do Cloud Trapeze, and I click over here into Fall of Sorrow. Oh shit, it's out of range. I need to, oh, oops, my alarm. I need to be, I think this will put me close enough where I can Cloud Trap these next turn if I want to. Anyway, that's where we're headed, but I probably could find a better spot. Anyway, it would be cool if I could get Arrowfend on them, because Arrowfend does work against Iron Blizzard. But I think this is going to fuck them up. I think can't take this, and we're going to storm this fort. If he wants to have peace, so be it. But we're not going to let him just take this castle for free. That ain't how we're going to play this. And if I need to, I have a huge-ass army I can magic phase in here and kick him off Fall of Sorrow. Though there's a very good chance Iru is going to attack me if I do that. But if I just take 1 or 2 provinces, Iru probably won't care. So that's kind of what I'm thinking anyway. But yeah, this is like, look at all of this. This stuff is so goddamn scary. I mean, look at all this. Look at all of this steaming hot garbage. And I mean, these are not like chaff. This is high quality stuff. That is very high quality stuff. Like, look at all of this. These guys are probably gonna have to go come kill Pelagia. But yeah, and we've got all the meteorite guard. This army can, I mean, this is gonna be a super goddamn scary army. We'll send them somewhere. Probably to kill Pelagia or Rlyeh. Anyway, but I can also use that to send it over here to Sarl if somehow he pulls off an upset and kills me. But we're on 3 caps right now, guys. We're storming this cap now that we kicked Ulm off. And this could, of course, go sideways. We're on the 2 caps on blandos. So anyway, we're in a pretty good position. I'm also moving some chaff over here. You know, it'd be really nice if I had a nature mage. Let's see if we can roll one of these. We need to roll a nature mage. Yeah, this guy's also doing ground army, which will probably help against the corpse constructs. I think we're doing mass regen too, right? Mass protection, mass regen, yeah. Throw an extra gem on him. So yeah, that should work pretty darn good. Pretty darn tootin' good. You know, we can also do stuff like not allow him to bring Astro Mages to the fight by magic dueling him, but we're not really going to do that right now. All we need him to do is just be friendly. If he's not going to be friendly, we're going to kick him off forts. You know, he tried that chicken shit raiding against me. Here's the other reason why I'm not going to go bend. I'm not going to like ignore the fact that he's being hostile, which is we're about ready to invade TNG. We've got pretty large forces here and here. I was going to do it this turn, but I kind of was just getting cold feet. Yeah, kind of just getting cold feet. So I think, you know, we have this army here, which is going to attack. I wanted to get some nature gems over here. So this guy's coming with some nature gems. That way she can do like mass protection turn 1, followed by fog warriors and stuff later. But I do want to have that off. And we might need Aerofend here too. And I think fog warriors is going to be fine. But yeah, anyway. Oh, he's going to do flaming arrows. He has used that before. But I'll have Firefend. You know, I might want more fire gems. So I think one thing I'm going to do, we're going to take this, we're going to put some fire gems on this guy too. That way my dragon can use a bunch of fire gems. And then we'll probably attack. But here's the thing, if we take this, then there's a pretty good chance Ulm's going to want to fight me on land over here. And I'm pretty sure one of the other moves I wanted to do was to attack Pelagia. And if I attack Pelagia, we're pinging them here. They've got a pretty big group of dudes. If we attack Pelagia, there's an extremely high chance that Iru is going to fight me. And Iru now has actually a shit ton of gem income. They're number 2, and they're right up there getting close to me. So, and it's being played by Nick Knight, who's a good player. I think Satis is up here too. Satis is pretty high. Anyway, there's a very good chance they don't want to fight me, but I'm going to basically force them to if I attack Pelagia. The thing is, Pelagia is going to fight me, and I'd rather do it when I have a tech advantage and on my terms, rather than later when we're equaled out in tech. So, and I can also snipe his capital. We come in here through this teleporter, which links up to this huge-ass army I have on a star, and then we jump right on top of Pelagia's capital. I don't know if he's fully realized that, but yeah, he's going to be in a pretty bad way when that happens. Okay, what else? I think that's mostly it for this. I want to show you the sequence for doing our Royal Malakwi. We're going to do that in a hot second, but first, before we zone out here, we've got a few things happening. We're doing Reach Through the Dimensions twice, and this is a Thom 9 spell that's available in DE. And you can only cast it at a dimensional instability, and you have to be Astral 6, so it's a pretty tough requirement. Or I'm sorry, Astral 5. It's reasonably tough. I don't know how easy it is for Arethea to do it, because Arethea beat me to Thom 6, because he's ungodly in research. Arethea, where are you? The Devil's Dealer. Yeah, that is a good goddamn name for his pretender. Oh, he can only get 1. This guy technically could get 3, but it's a 1 in 16 chance. It's really hard to boost up to 5 from 2. You can do it, but you're going to need like a Ring of Wizardry or something. He's got some of the artifacts, though. He might can do it. And he's probably going to have 1 Astral 3 by now. So anyway, and his god's been busy fighting wars. I'm trying to figure out how much Reach Through the Dimensions he's cast, because we're casting it twice, which is risky, because he technically, especially if he had a lot of casters, because he can just print gems. You know, if he has a lot of casters, he could have already taken all of the unique chassis that come out of this. The ones we're hoping for, the best one is Lord Rlyeh, which is an innate caster 2. So he would be the best one to get. The other ones, which are kind of honorable mentions for being, not honorable mentions. Second place might be the Kappa Engineer, where he can basically walk around and give you bonus income. He does a pop kill percent, but like he's going to be really good, I think, at increasing the income of some of these middling places. And he also gives you more productivity. So I don't know. It seems pretty good. The roboticist is going to be kind of cool too. He gives you little robot factories, so we can turn all of our land provinces into free spawn generators in addition to what we already have. Seems pretty good to me. What else? We get Hoster, which is like basically he's very much on brand for late age Rlyeh. It's basically a small version of Bubbles. And he's super good. He has really nice paths. I'm trying to think what else. I think he might be Astral 5 too. He's super solid. That would totally be worth 50 gems. What else? We've got... Well, I'm going to pause it. I'll pull them up. Okay, so I've got it pulled up. These are all of them. So this is the roboticist. First of all, it's some great cross paths. A healer, which would be super helpful. And he makes a little robot factory. So this guy, super good. And, you know, the fire water cross path is a great one to have. Technically, I could also probably print this guy if I just want the paths, which like getting fire water would be really good to print out by turning this guy into a lich. And I think that works. And then I can just cast it again and summon another one. Lord Rlyeh, probably one of the best path mages in the game. This guy's the best to get. An innate caster too, which is completely broken. This guy's the worst to get. If I get him, I'm going to be extremely sad. He can cloud trap these all over the place, so like you can use him for very, very light rating. But he sucks. And he can become independent. I mean, he's the worst by an enormous margin. The Kappa engineer, this guy seems to suck, but he is going to give you... He's a mason, so he can give you... I could like upgrade my cap, for example, and get better star spawn, which would be cool. But in addition, and that's certainly a valid use for him, in addition, everywhere he goes, he will increase the resources and income. That's a passive hidden event. So that's cool. We've got this guy who spawns... He's got cool paths, like Air Death is really good. And he's a high air mage, and he can potentially make the Staff of Elemental Mastery, which I think... Yeah, Lord Rlyeh can too. So I don't know, this guy's fine. It's a good high path mage, probably worth 50 gems. He summons these guys as a commander via an event. And you get basically one of them per turn, I think. But they're kind of bad at assassinating. But I don't know. Seems okay. This guy's like middle tier. The King in Yellow, this is another one of the good ones. So let's put them in order for the top tier. Lord Rlyeh is the best one. The Roboticist is really good, followed thereafter. He'd probably be number 2. Hoster is pretty strong. He's got really, really good paths, and I think I can turn him into a lich. And just being able to print out Astral 5 liches would be really nice. You know, you could do that with Lord Rlyeh too, but he's actually not quite as high. So, like, Astral 5 is really useful for wish casting. And, yeah, you can't actually do that with Astral 4. So Hoster's really good. The Immortal Killer, this guy he comes with this weapon, which will cause you can basically cast a spell, which will cause a copy of him to assassinate some dude. And the copy has a blade which will kill immortals. So this could be kind of funny. I don't think it would actually work. I think, and they cast quickness on themselves. I think in practice, like vampires, which would be, you know, like shitty little vampires that Ohm has, would be a great way for me to use this guy, but I don't think it's actually going to work very well. But, you know, we could use this to kill, like, wolf herds, I'm sure. Dullness, she can cast Melancholia every turn, which is pretty useful. You basically have to take a morale check or die on the strategic map. And she can seduce. But if we take a look at Melancholia real quick... Scale of Sloth is set to 3. Dominion's reduced by 1 to 2. All units in the province must take an MR check versus 10 and a morale check versus 10. If they fail both, they desert. So it's actually pretty bad. But on a sufficiently large army or stuff of chaff like wolves could be pretty decent. So this one actually may be a little higher tier. Being able to cast that every turn for free could be pretty goddamn punishing. Could be pretty punishing. And it's going to sack their candles too. So she's really good. And maybe I mean, this guy's immortal too, and he can cloud trap these. So this guy is like an excellent Wind of Death caster. This guy might be really good as well. And then the final one is the Iron Patriarch. He is decent for breaking you into blood. When you get him, you get a bunch of other blood mages that spawn with him. And, I mean, he's kind of like Father Illerth in a way. I don't know. I wouldn't hate getting him. But, yeah, these two, this guy is without a doubt 100%, in my opinion, the absolute worst. This guy is not very good. And then these two are probably in like, or these three are probably in this tier. And then these three are in like the top tier for me. And I think I missed the Kappa dude. Where's the Kappa dude? The Kappa engineer. Put him right here. I'm unsure whether he is here. We'll put him here, actually. That's kind of like my rating of these guys. There's like this dude, there's this dude, there's these four who are all useful and really good, and there's these three who are amazing. So, anyway, we're going to be getting two of them this turn if goddamn Rlyeh hasn't yoinked them already. And getting Lord Rlyeh is like a game-changing thing. He can't be wished for, so nobody can steal him. I have to actually let him die in combat. It's the only way to lose him. He is insane, so there's like a risk with bad things happening there, but yeah, I mean, we can just do Ritual of Returning on him and have him run around with a bunch of high MR, and I don't know, we can boost up his HP some way, and yeah, anyway. He's a strong dude. So we're going to go back to Dominions. We've got two of these being cast here. We've got a Lord of the Void being summoned here by RNGesus, who we've given the full MR kit, because he has to pass a hard MR check or die. By the way, Yahtzee is one of the people casting here, and I probably should give Yahtzee a Coral Blade, because I really don't want Yahtzee to die. And that's basically the turn. Oh, I'm super on the fence about when to attack Pelagia. I want to do it kind of soon. I don't think Rlyeh is going to be attacking me anytime soon. They just finished eating Late Age Atlantis, and they have most of the water system over here on Silent Seas. I would probably rather them attack into me, to be honest. So I think what we'll probably do, we're probably going to finish off TNG. We're probably going to very shortly, and this is a big Pelagian army, we're probably reasonably shortly... Oh, that was where I was sending this guy. I think I am going to send him here. Because I can put a Crystal Matrix on him, and he can do Fog Warriors with this army. That's one of the things that army's missing. So, yeah, I think we're going to attack Pelagia before he catches up to me in tech. If we look at Pelagia's technology, they are right here. So they are about half of our tech, but probably a third of our rate. And I want to attack them before they start hitting 9s. And they've probably got about 8 turns till they start hitting 9s. And if I hit mine before him, I'm just going to go kill him. Because he's going to fight me at some point, and we're going to go kill him. I mean, in some ways he might not, because he's kind of... This player doesn't usually pick very hard fights. But he will take sort of hard fights if he's in a huge coalition. So we'll see. We're going to kill him, is basically the TLDR. The only hesitancy I have killing him is it's going to make Iru attack me. And the calculus I'm kind of doing in my head is an Iru's going to attack me on blandos. How well can I handle... As soon as I feel like I can handle an elf invasion on blandos, I'm going to attack Pelagia, which will probably be in the next 3 turns. And we'll also be pushing in here to take TNG stuff. And Ulm's going to fight us, and we're probably going to kill Ulm. Ulm we also have a pretty good tech advantage on. It's not quite as good as the other guys. No, it's about the same as Pelagia. So they're a little bit in the Stone Age compared to us. So, yeah, Ulm can do horror spam and stuff, which will be annoying. But I don't think that's actually going to matter that much. I mean, we have pretty good armies to deal with horrors. We just put Meteorite Guard in a blob, or Void Creators on a blob around our mages, and they can't hit us. And we'll chop them up because we've got magic weapons and all of this jazz. So, I'm not actually super worried about that. And the vampires I'm not worried about because we are going to enslave them and kill immortals. I think we will kind of crush Ulm, but I think we're going to do it by pushing through here. And then if Ulm fights, or as Ulm gets ready to fight, we might just attack them. There's a chance we attack through Nabah, too. Nabah has been extremely uncommunicative, and I don't know how hard they're actually playing. I don't think they're really in any wars. They seem to mostly be hitting in turn and hoping things will go well. Now, Nabah does want to get like Shaitan out and stuff, so they do have some important timings they could be waiting for, but I don't know. We will see. I kind of also want to take this throne. And I want to claim it so that my god can get, you know, bonus astral and stuff anyway. But now, because we're about out of time, I'm going to hit in turn. And you can see we got 3 hours till it hosts. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to get... I'll do it in this little test environment I had versus Jotunheim. Oh, I want to show you the message I sent to Jotunheim too, because I'm super thankful we got him to sub. He did such a good job. Okay. So, here we go. Let's wish for the first couple. And I'll show you the sequence we need to do here. So first we'll wish for them, and we can only do this obviously once we're Alt 9. Then we're going to Divine Name them. That's 2 turns. And now the turn that they Divine Name, we're going to need to have the right gear for them. Now they've got 5 miscellaneous slots and 3 head slots. Now the way this is going to work is the head slot will get this. I think there's actually a Master Ritualist thing, which I probably won't actually have. I forget which one it is. It's one of these crowns. Which one are you? Which one are you? It can't be this one. Or maybe it was a different thing. I have to figure out. There's something that gave you Master Ritualist. I know it's out there. Well, we'll figure it out. So, okay, we're going to make the Starshine Skull Cap. And then we want to make as many Astral Miscellaneous Boosters. Now, one of them is the Atlas of Creation, which we already have. Another is the Crystal Coin. Another is the Ring of Wizardry, which I already have. And another is the Ring of Sorcery, which I don't have yet, but can make. The thing is, I need one more. And I'm not sure I can get it. There's a few options. One, but they're all artifacts, basically. They're all artifacts. So we'll make these first. And these should be available the same turn I do the Divine Naming. And I need to get this lady to Astral... I didn't even say why I was doing all this. I need to get her to Astral 9 so that I can do... And I'll see, maybe there's another... Ooh. Dimensional Anchor. No. Gem of Elemental Power, no. Yeah, let's... Oh, I'm going to research real quick. We're going to make sure I've got Construction 8. Okay, so And then I'll show you the rest of the sequence. I want to make sure there's nothing here that's going to give us a bonus astral. This one will. The Gem of Creation. I could wish for this. That's the other option. So the turn I summon... The turn after I summon... I could wish for this, which will steal it from somebody. This isn't cursed or anything, so I can take it out of the inventory of the wish caster. And yeah, then we can... First of all, it's a good item to have, and it's nice to deny it from probably Rlyeh. But yeah, we can also then give it to the first couple, and the next turn... So we'll do that. We'll pretend we wished for it. Now, the first couple is going to have to empower themselves in Astral once. And you can see we're getting to, like, pretty enormous amounts of pearls here. But with this, I can now toss all of this on. And we are now Astral 9. And once we're Astral 9, then I can wish for magical power. And the reason I need to do this, and it's not just, like, optional, is... I need to get... This is not a water-breathing chassis. And if it dies and it comes back as my god, so I need it to be able to breathe in the water. So, you know, we summon it, we divine name it, we empower it. That's 3 turns. The 4th turn, we're going to wish for magical power. And you can just see how many gems this thing's going to consume. It now has it, and so you can see it's got a bajillion all these paths because I've got all these boosters on it. Okay, so it has it, and it's now got 1 in nature, and that is actually the thing I need. So we'll toss these back on. I forget the exact requirement. Cast ritual spell nature. It's going to be one of these here. Enchant Algae is the spell. Grants gift of water breathing. Okay, this is what we want. And this is going to be permanent. This is going to be permanent. So we do Enchant Algae. Now we could also skip some of this and not worry about a lot of it and just do Empower in Nature. And that's certainly an option. It's in some ways it's going to be a lot cheaper. I don't have to steal the Gem of Creation to do it. But stealing the Gem of Creation, denying it from Rlyeh, I think is worth it. And then I don't have to wish for magical power. But, you know, wishing for magical power is really nice. It gives me basically all the paths. So, and it's on probably the best mage in the game. So anyway, this is done. Now, independent of that getting done, I need to cast a spell called Apotheosis. I don't know why I can't talk. I don't have it researched yet. Apotheosis. And my god has to be present when I cast it. So, okay, we've cast it. And there's now this item. And so now what I do is I put this on this person. And I think they need to be in the same province as my god. I can't remember exactly. And we're going to do become demigod. Okay, we've cast it, and it is successful. We are now a demigod. So this is now my pretender. If we die, we lose this item, which is fine. But yeah, that's pretty goddamn awesome. We are now a demigod. And I can never lose this chassis. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cloud trapeze this idiot onto here. Now, if I didn't get the water breathing, I would actually be in a bunch of trouble. Because... One second. Break siege spells. I don't know who's actually going to win this. Okay, we managed to kill him. Okay, and now we call back. Just like so. Okay, and they're back. Now, when they come back, we're not going to want her to die. We're going to put, like, a bunch of stuff, like Ritual of Returning and stuff to keep her from dying. You know, but she could. Anyway. Yeah, basically she's now mine forever. She's got innate spellcaster 3, which is ridiculously strong. And, I mean, it's going to be an absolute monster. An absolute monster. And in some ways, she's actually better after she's died once, because I get rid of that stupid apotheosis item. Yeah, so anyway, that's basically it. That's the plan to get this lady. And this is how she'll probably look like. I mean, maybe we don't lose a fire path. The kit 4 is you basically stack pin gear and you give her a Communion Master Matrix. And you teleport her around with a few goons carrying the Matrix, you know, some slaves. We may also do things like well, she's also going to need, we'll test this real quick. We'll just hit intern a few times. I think they can go insane, but in my game, a bunch of undead have not been going insane. I don't know why. Oh, I think gods don't go insane. So she actually is not going to need it. I think that's the thing, is pretender gods don't need it. But I think undead will. Do I have any undead? Not really. Yeah, this guy's gotten insane. Yeah, she's fine. So, yeah, I mean, she can just have an enormous amount of pin gear. And I can steal the Amulet of Power, put that on her. And you can use this to steal entire armies. So this is going to be pretty much the strongest unit in the game, and there's not going to be anything anybody can do about it. Because it's a god, it can't be charmed or stolen. If it's killed, I resummon it. If they wish for it, because this is a wishable chassis, it will teleport it wherever it goes, but I'll have Ritual of Returning, and it will probably just get sent home. And if they have something set up to kill it, you know, they can kill all the gear on it. But it's also going to be really dangerous bringing her in to like, oh, I'm going to do some trap for you. And it's like, meanwhile, that like enslaves everything you've got there. Now, maybe they could bring it in against something with huge amounts of MR and quickness, and it just jumps in the back and yeets her. Because she's undead. It could have like a Holy Scourge and just like yeets her turn 1. So I don't know. I guess that's possible. But I could also probably just script returning, and it would probably happen before they get there. So I don't know. There's some game to it, but the only game that other people can actually do is wishing for her and trying to maybe like harvest the gear off of her. Which, if that starts happening, the way you win in this escalation is you do this. We wish for strength, and this is going to give us a boatload more HP, especially if they're pulling us out of friendly dominion. We'll come in with 95. That will actually be reasonably hard to one-hit kill. It'll be reasonably hard. Now, the reason it's so much is because we got, I think, a bonus 50 points or something from strength. It also gives you, obviously, a lot of strength, but and I think it gives you some attack and defense as well. So anyway, you get a bunch of bonus stats if you wish for that. It's usually kind of wasteful because it's really expensive. But in this case, you know, if we've got Ritual of Returning on this guy, it can totally be worth it to prevent, because we're going to have hundreds of gems worth of gear on her in addition to the chassis itself. The chassis is worth more. So I don't know, if somebody wants to pay 100 gems a turn to wish her so I can't use her, that's probably okay. And I can start, wherever they're casting it, I can start doing things to kind of yeet that. You know, the other funny thing they could do is wish her to a place with 0, like a fort with no province defense on it. And then she would just go there and just be sitting on top of the fort. And it would really fuck my plans up because she wouldn't even go back home where I could use her again. That's probably the better way to do it. Anyway, I think that's about it, boys. This is the plan. This is going to be happening. So how long was this total process? It's probably about 5 turns. When can we start it? We can probably start it in about 3 turns, maybe 4. So it's going to be happening. The other thing is we changed the rules for the game. I probably should mention this again. I'll mention it again. But whoever has the most turns at turn 100 wins. We're not going to do this past like 120. It's too painful. The lag is too intense. And we've lowered the throne requirement from, for whatever reason in the game, it was 35. We've lowered it to 25. So anyway, that's that. At any rate, guys, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.